It's the 26th of July today. 2 days, 3 including today until the 28th, the celebration of my birthday. First year as a devotee. Still sympathy going out to the masters of chaos. Just being aware of how consciousness goes where attention flows, or consciousness flows where attention goes. Thinking of the Tavistock Institute, the extension of the occult, trying to master the Vedas. It's obvious that it's running out for them. It's just starting for the shift in consciousness. When the authorized people start using those Vedic texts to install civilization instead of chaos, it's all being prepared. The ones who think that they are in control are actually handing over control. They're preparing everything perfectly for a civilization. The small cells of communities that manage themselves, we're all capable. Doing a bit of research on Google, also just to point out, this technology can be used for good or bad. So just a bit of a heads up, when using Google, look for good stuff, the science of self-realization, God consciousness. Do some research into what's actually going on with all of the conspiracy against humanity. The US dollar bills in relation to 9/11, the Twin Towers. Do some searches and see how overconfident these fearful rulers, as opposed to selfless leaders, are behaving. The confidence is shocking. It becomes laughable. They're not in control. They're just dancing to someone else's tune. The exchange of technology for blood sacrifices, using the Vedic hymns to make contact with trans-dimensional demons and trade technology for blood sacrifices. All of the wars that we've had in recent history have been at a location at a time, so they've had a coordinate and a time. These have been blood sacrifices in exchange for technology, the very technology that they believe is being used to enslave us. is actually the very same mechanism that will free us. The crystal method, the silicon chip, crystal meth, the whole drug industry, the Panama Papers, pointing towards all of the people that we thought that we could respect as leaders, who are actually just brutal, deceptive rulers. They've got their fingers in all of these pies, and the most shocking, disgusting enslavement tools. We need to utilize this technology to our benefit. Installing civilization, in the Vedic text there's a system called the Varna Ashram Dham, which is basically 4 social orders and 4 religious or spiritual orders. It's a matter of collectively, in an open, transparent, single place that's available to everyone. That's what the internet is for. It's for looking at a transparent democracy. I've set up a lot of domain names, all pertaining to this process. I'm going to be publishing them in the descriptions on my YouTube posts, and hoping that people will see the structure in those names and the different departments that they cover. Looking forward to reading from the Bhagavad Gita. The translation for Bhagavad Gita is Message of Godhead. I know who I work for. So I look forward to sharing that conversation between Arjuna and Krishna, who is God, Godhead, Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And how it's interesting just to reflect how the conversation is observed by the opposition party's spiritual advisor. His name is Sanjaya, and he has transcendental vision to look in on the conversation, and how that reflects in what's happening today. We have technology to look into what's going on, do the research. But let's coordinate some domain names, some websites where we can actually collectively share our knowledge, share our wisdom. As far as these Vedic literatures are concerned, they're all available online for free. It just takes a little bit of perseverance and you'll be able to find the Bhagavad Gita and start reading it already. See what it does for you. These are ancient blueprints, guidelines, instructions on how to behave and how to go forward. We've all been put in these isolated positions for this purpose, for introspection and reflection on where we are and what's going on in our lives, what state of consciousness we're in. What state of consciousness we're in determines what next body we take in our transmigration. So we want to be looking at what we're thinking of, what we're busy with, and get busy with the good stuff. Chanting the Maha Mantra. The Maha Mantra is 16 words. Multiplied by 2, that's 32. By 2 again, it's 64. 64 is the geometry of the vacuum, of the material creation. This is according to Nassim Harameyn's research. Go and have a look at what he's saying. See how the fabric actually works, how it's an intelligent, conscious, interactive material. Just reflecting on the consciousness of the fear factory. Fear, the personification of fear is Satan. Satan is the personification of fear. And the state of fear that the people are in, who have mistakenly identified their communication with the transdimensional demons as God, and have followed that trail, and have actually started to believe their own lies, that their demonic interactions actually are with the Creator, and where that's landing them. Absolute fear, because they know they're not in control. Just thinking of very simple democracy. There are enough people on the planet now who have access to internet. If we collectively just make a vote, it could all be done under iscore.com. I serve Krishna correctly. Intelligence serves Krishna correctly. Integrity serves Krishna correctly. I see Krishna correctly. I serve Krishna correctly. if we were to collectively form some sort of bio-democracy on that website, it would be quite easy to put your understanding, your current understanding of the creator behind the material universe, your occupation, your interests, social position, financial position, work orientation, specialities. It's not complicated. The technology is there for us to use. Let's use it. Spending time on YouTube, just looking at what people are interested in. It's all got to do with bigger is better. More destruction, the more high-tech war machines, mega structures. It's all useless. We need to get back to the basics, make sure that every man, woman and child is safe and cared for. That's our human nature. All of those structures are useful once the foundation is laid. Foundation is a godly society. Acknowledges the creator of everything. So yet again, fulfilling my obligations doesn't have to be complicated. I've given all of my details on other presentations. I really urge people to look at the first presentation. I know it was very unprofessional. It's the first time I stood before a camera. Go and have a look at some of the other links that are available on YouTube. On my profile. I'm still learning how this technology works. I'm still getting used to standing in front of a camera. But it'll get better. We've got to learn to crawl before we walk, before we fly. So on that positive note, and wishing everyone the most enlightening journey, and love and respect to my saintly personalities, my spiritual guides, and the divine presence that I experience all the time. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Narayan Maharaj, Bhagavan, Sri Krishna, and just big love to everyone. That's what it's all about. It's the most imperishable substance in creation is love. It spans lifetimes. It's potent. We've all got it in us. Let's get it out. On that note, checking out. Hare Krishna.